What is going on, everyone? It's Gamers Weekly here. I'm your host, Antalk64, and I'm here with Ghost. And today we're going to be doing our second episode for Mission Masters on Tom Clancy's The Division, which is this week's game. Super excited about this. We're going to be doing the Lexington Event Center on challenging difficulty. If you guys saw our first episode, we did how to the incursions. That was just a really easy way how to get the incursion done for our people who are new to it. This is going to be for the Lexington Event Center on challenging. Me and Ghost are currently rocking pretty much the same setup. I wanted to go ahead and let him talk to you guys a little bit about what he's running in this mission, and then we'll go into my setup, and then from there.
Alright, first off, if you guys have not checked out the Ubisoft Club rewards, definitely, if you don't have an account there, definitely I would suggest getting it, because I don't know if it's required, I think it is, but you can get awesome rewards like iconic Division jackets and skins for your weapons. And so I got this new Inferno skin for my MP5. I'm rocking the MP5, which has restored, competent, and brutal on it, which brutal is pretty sick. And then I'm rocking a Vector with the challenge skin from actually this mission, and its perks are restored, competent, and brutal again. And then the last but not least, I have the Officer's M9A1, and the perk rolls on that are Expert, Sustained, and that's it.
Nice. So moving on to like what my setup is, I'm rocking a Vector 45 ACP. I have the Deadly and I think Deadly and Accurate rolled. I have Provident, which isn't really the most useful skill. I wouldn't really recommend shooting for that, because on a sniper it would be a lot better, because it gives you extra damage for the final bullet in your magazine. And since these SMGs run out of ammo so quickly, you just, especially the Vector and how high the rounds per minute can be, are just insane. So you really don't want to have Provident. That's kind of something that I would like to see added into the game, that you could re-roll a perk that was on your weapon. So I could try to re-roll it for Brutal or something like that, to kind of better support what my loadout is. So my gadgets I'm running with are Overheal for the first aid ability. I have my ultimate is, of course, none other than the Survivor Link. And then I am running Flashbang modifier on my Sticky Bomb. I'm running more of a support type of the kind of distraction, if you will. The Flashbang is more of being able to prevent enemies from being able to spot my teammates, kind of stopping them from doing what they would normally be doing, giving my teammates some cover here and there. I would definitely recommend running Flashbang. It's a very good perk to run on your Sticky Bomb if you like to use that. I'm also using Overheal. I really like Overheal because it kind of gives me my talents. I have the Combat Medic talent, which allows me to give me 40% more healing ability for my medkits. I have that, and as well as I have the Overdose ability, and these give me all the healing that I really need. I'm not running too big of a tank, honestly. My loadout is more of a damage type. I'm running the Strikers gear set. I was running the the Sentry Call, but I decided to go in and switch over to Strikers, because Strikers gear set, if you have 4 pieces of the gear, it will give you increased DPS every time you deal damage. So I could get up to like 364,000 DPS if my aim is true. That's why I have Accurate on this thing, which is really nice, because it just allows me to like have very minimal corrections with this thing. I have pretty decent armor so far. It's kind of like a weird armor setup. I'm kind of going for crit chance and crit damage all at the same time, which I guess is okay. It's what I did. You don't necessarily have to follow what I did. This is kind of like, you can just kind of take this build and kind of experiment with it. You can use it in different ways. You could add on different talents for better damage capability. Like if you add it on Smart Cover, you could get more damage out of your weapons. You could get more damage resistance whenever you're in that area. So there's a load of different things that you can do if you're trying to run for a tank, if you're trying to run for DPS. whatever is really good and easy to use with this build that I'm running with. So yeah, that's kind of what my build is looking like. Anything you wanted to add to your build, Ghost?
Okay, I gotta get in the elevator real quick. Alright, so for my loadout, I am rocking the hybrid armor piece. That's high-end. I have a legendary mask, the agent mask, legendary knee pads, responder pads, high-end holster, the tactical holster, high-end gloves, which are just named gloves, and then finally I have the high-end backpack Spec Ops pack. Now, I do not, in fact, have any of the new gear like the Sentry's Call gear or any of the Strikers gear, unfortunately. I'm trying to grind I'm trying to grind the division so that I can get that loot. I unfortunately haven't had much time to do any of the incursions lately, but hopefully I can do that so that you guys can see that, and maybe we can do that for a future video.
Yeah, definitely. If you wanted to go ahead and just kind of run over what gadgets you're using and what talents you...
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was such a derp. I forgot that you mentioned the gadgets. So, my gadgets right now are the med pack with the extra damage. I believe it's just called...
I think it's called a booster shot? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, booster shot. Med kit with booster shot. I'm actually, the other one I'm rocking is the support station with ammo cache, and that's just for my team. And then I am rocking survivor link. Now all of those I think are very important for the team. I'm definitely more of a support build. I always usually go with the support in games, and I think the medical wing and the medic is very important to the team if you're in a team. Not bragging on myself, I die a lot, but I'm just here to try and help my team and get some suppressive fire and put some stuff down. And as I say that, I'm not putting a support thing down until later, but still.
Nice. Also, if you guys are having a little bit of trouble here and there for farming, or if you guys just want to level up really fast on a new character to be able to do the new incursions to get the better loot, make sure you guys check out our campaign masters. We have our second episode, and we also have our first episode, and we kind of talk about this, go over it just a little bit on kind of what gadgets we recommend using, what our beginner tips would be, how to level up really fast. All those will be in that tutorial, so make sure you guys go check that out. So moving on to this mission. This mission is relatively tough for challenging. There's a lot of the gold. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of gold enemies, but in this one there are a lot of the heavies, and the heavies are really tough to take down because they have a lot of health and they deal a lot of damage. So what I would recommend for this part, when you guys get to the rooftop and once you guys secure the sergeant, make sure you guys have your teammates just sitting right here. I'm currently running flashbang on my sticky bomb, so make sure you guys are doing that as well. And get ready to shoot the door right when that new thing comes out, and then they'll all be blinded and you can just damage as much as possible. This is when the Striker's gear set comes in handy, because they're just all kind of sitting right there, so you can deal a lot of damage to get that DPS up and that damage up. So that's what I would definitely recommend. If you're running something like what Ghost was with booster shot, you can get even more damage, and if you want, if that damage isn't enough for you, then you guys can make sure you run smart cover with, I think, the damaging and more armor resistance ability on there, and that'll get you just crazy amounts of DPS in there and all those targets that are just sitting right there. And this is the easiest way to get this part of the mission done. You do want to make sure you're watching out for that sniper. Sometimes they can just do some crazy phase quick scope and one-shot you, so make sure you watch out for that. But if you get close enough, she'll switch to the pistol and you won't have to worry about that. All the other guys, the normal guys, don't really worry about them too much. Make sure you're getting those grenadiers and those heavies down. Grenadiers will just destroy you with the grenades. That's all they do. They just spam grenades, and if you have a large group of them, they're going to start to pile up with their grenades, and you're just not going to have anywhere to run. If you left that heavy up for too long, then you can't really do anything because you're trying to get rid of all the other enemies as well as having the heavy, so it just makes it extremely difficult if you don't take out that heavy right away. Also, I would recommend taking out the sniper right away as well, but focus on those grenadiers first because they're going to be the most important and they're going to help you out the most with keeping your survivability up, as well as the heavy. If you had any tips you'd like to kind of discuss, Ghost, just talk away.
Yeah, definitely use that Survivor link for the team. One thing I've had trouble with is misjudging the distance of Survivor link. I know that the range sort of got nerfed, but still Survivor link is completely overpowered. But it used to be like the god perk or the god ability, I should say, of all the abilities that they had. I think it still is in some senses, but anyway, just watch the range on it because you can misjudge that pretty easily. I know I do. Watch these shotgunners when you come up here if you're doing this mission, whether challenge or not, because even if you're on the regular difficulty, they can just tear through your team and completely disrupt you, especially on this part. And even the heavies too. Aim for those explosive packs. I know on our COA videos and our our other videos about Division, we've mentioned that. But just definitely watch out for the shotgunners.
Yeah, definitely. Shotgunners are a huge thing in this game because they just deal so much damage, and especially on challenging, they're even harder to kill because they have a lot more health, they're a lot tankier, they deal a lot more damage. So it's really focusing, as you guys saw in that one part, we didn't have any shotgunners that would spawn right there, so that's why I didn't say focus on the shotgunners. But in this area right here, definitely exactly like what Ghost was saying, make sure you're taking out the shotgunners first. The shotgunners are going to be the ones to rush you. They're the ones who's never going to reload, so you have like a split second of time to be able to shoot them without taking as much damage from them. So it always seems they're pretty much like the most overpowered enemy in any of the enemy factions, just because of how much damage they can deal, how rapid they can shoot your team down. I mean, even all shotgunners are super good and deal a lot of damage to your team, which makes them very hard to kill, especially in these challenging modes. And then, as you guys can see, what Ghost was saying, he was also talking about shooting the backpacks. Definitely want to shoot the backpacks on the heavies. That'll be the quickest way to take them down. I would recommend having one person just kind of as distraction, if you will. They're just kind of taking his aggro while the other people kind of shoot his backpack. If you can't get to it because there are too many enemies, that's fine. You can still take them down pretty easily. They are pretty slow moving targets, and they do have a lot of health, so they can soak up a lot of bullets, which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. That's why I would definitely recommend running strikers for this mission, because there are a lot of heavies. And these guys right here, I guess you could call them tacticians. They're the ones who kind of throw those one grenades. But tacticians, shotgunners, grenadiers, and the heavies are going to be your main focuses for whenever you get a new encounter done. So like these shotgunners, you see our teammates just pelting these guys with grenades. You see me just wailing on that shotgun. Took me 2 reloads. That's probably because of my build. My build isn't like the best of the best. Probably a lot of other people could probably just one magazine him, but as you guys can see, we're just wailing on this heavy. All of us doing as much damage as possible. And he's going down pretty quickly, throwing grenades to kind of shock him and get his aggro off of all of us. And as you can see, Ghost kind of running as a little bit of a distraction here, and just getting the teammates to be able to shoot him as much as possible. As you see, it's kind of going a little crazy right here. And he ends up going down, but we still ended up killing a heavy, and nobody else went down, which is always good. So, awesome.
If you're one of those people who don't like dying, then this is not the role for you, because you definitely will die if you're the distraction. So basically, I'm running like a chicken with its head cut off towards the enemy team, and purposefully trying to, not purposefully I would say, but I'm expecting to get killed.
Yeah. But those are kind of what we ended up doing throughout this mission. The boss fight is a little bit different, and we'll get into that when it comes up to this. But this part definitely takes a bit long because there's about like 3 waves of enemies. You have the original wave that you start out with, and then you have the next wave, which is that shotgunner wave, and then you have the final wave, which is all of the tacticians and the heavies that come at you. You have shotgunners in and throughout. As you guys just see, this guy's just like tearing through all their teammates. So these guys deal a lot of damage, and I think, am I the last one alive? No. Crap, I'm down. But those guys deal a lot of damage. Like you just saw, we all like just went down right there. But yeah, we managed to kill them anyways, but it doesn't matter. So those guys you definitely want to watch out for. Tacticians, really all of the enemies, even like the starter guys, they're all able to just destroy your team instantly. So you definitely want to make sure you're watching out for that. As Ghost was saying, if you're running support station, make sure you're always throwing that thing down. If you have the ammo capacity, I definitely recommend running that one over the other ones, just because you don't have to worry about that ammo. because ammo is a big thing and challenging because you're always having to reload, you're always having to use up your ammo on those heavies. So having a support station with the ammo capacity is just so key and so vital that you definitely need somebody that knows how to use a support station on your team, and using that to the best of their ability. So when you get to this boss fight, you immediately want to go down for these snipers. Don't really worry too much about the heavies because you also have the JTF, which pop up in the back. But just kill these snipers immediately. They are going to cause you the most damage, because they're just going to pick you off and they're going to be behind cover, head glitching. So as you can see, me and Ghost are just kind of teaming up on this one single sniper. I wouldn't recommend having your entire team go for him because you do have other enemies that'll spawn like right there, and then she'll shoot at you. You can just throw a flashbang and she'll leave you alone. But you definitely want to shoot these guys up first, or shoot the snipers and then shoot these guys next, and make sure you're just throwing down support stations, healing your teammates as much as possible.
And as you can see right now, yeah, I'm not trying to interrupt, I just went downstairs and my teammates were distracting that heavy and then I popped them in the back. Watch out for those heavies. If you're doing this mission solo, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing, but you probably have to, even on regular difficulty, they can absolutely tear through you. And what I would recommend doing is, if you have any grenades, flashbang him. If you have the sticky bomb, definitely stick it. Try and aim towards his back, because that's where the money shot is, his backpack. And then when it comes down to the final boss, watch Lara Barrett. She's going to throw her stinking grenades everywhere, and it's going to be chaos for you if you just don't go downstairs also. But just, yeah.
Yeah, as you guys can see, Lara Barrett is just coming up here and just like absolutely getting destroyed. I'm going to pop my survivor link right here. Survivor link is very key. You're going to need this because it allows you to soak up a lot of damage. A lot of your teammates all your teammates, if they're in a certain range, like Ghost was saying, can soak up damage. And we're just destroying this boss right now, trying to deal as much damage as possible. Going to flash her real quick. I flashed myself, unfortunately, but who cares? Taking her down.
I'm just hitting her.
Like nailing her with your
Bam!
And she goes down.
Oh, high end drop. Ooh, triple high ends.
Loot looks very
yeah,
nice.
watch that loot.
Also,
I'm gonna die.
Now, if you go for the loot, also that's another thing, kind of going on with what we ended up doing. Lara Barrett was like really close to us, so we managed to get her loot pretty easily. But if she's really far, like if she's far away from you, like if she's down there, do not go for it until the end of the mission, because you will 9 times out of 10 end up going down. There are just so many enemies that spawn when she goes up there, not to mention all the heavies that'll spawn. So just don't go for it. Just don't go for it. I died so many times being so greedy trying to get my loot. You will keep your loot even if your entire teams go down and you have to restart the mission, or not restart the mission, restart that encounter. But you don't need to go immediately down there and leave your teammate and leave your position that you're at right now to go and get loot, because you will not only get that loot, but you'll get the weekly loot, which is the good loot. So 9 times out of 10 it probably will end up not being as good as loot as you have. But yeah, those are just kind of my tips. I don't want to go too deep into that because I mean it's kind of an obvious thing not to do, but some people do it. I myself are included with that group, so yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I see a high end, I used to dart for it. Even now I sometimes make that mistake. I just made a mistake just then. I didn't go for his backpack and now I had to reload.
As you guys can see, we're just all kind of distracting him, shooting the backpack up. Almost had, and that's the good thing about these heavies, is that they will end up reloading, and their reload takes a pretty good amount of time. As you guys can see, we just ended up killing them, and boom, mission complete. This is actually a pretty easy mission to do. This isn't extremely difficult. It's not like the other ones, in my opinion. So this is pretty easy to do. It's very simple. It's not very hard. I know I keep saying that, but it's not. So yeah. Anyways, guys, we hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Every subscriber would definitely help out us and just bringing more and more content. Also, make sure you guys like the video. We put a lot of work and time to these videos, so a like would just be super appreciated. Anything you'd like to add to this, Ghost?
Yeah, definitely just... I say this in all of our videos, I think, but just go with what your play style is. At the end of the day, everyone's gonna have their own take on it. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion, which is great. We're all human beings. We're not built the same. We're all unique. So definitely, these videos are not to force you guys into doing some loadouts. I know people say you have to have some certain weapon to do it. That's not true. I never have thought that's true. There's some sense in it in some points, but not most of the time. You can just do well with what you have, and that'll be fine. Yeah, definitely make sure, if you like the video, definitely recommend it to a friend, and also if you have any more tips, definitely spam the comment section below, excuse me, and just help us out. And if you have any suggestions for games or videos that you'd like us to do, definitely say that.
Yeah, so this is Gamers Weekly signing off. I've been your host, Antog.
And I'm Ghost, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.